Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. Let's talk about problems. Everybody's got problems. 3,000 problems. What do? How do you handle your problems? Well, there's the front end and the back end. You got the back end of your problems when they've already happened. You're sitting there in this stew of shit that you've created for yourself, or the world has thrown upon you. Maybe you're a victim and it wasn't your fault. Nonetheless, you got problems. You can either act on them and fix them, or you could not fix them. Right? There you go. End of video. There you go. There's some wisdom. You can fix your fucking problems, or you can not fix them. That's all pretty obvious. How do we avoid having a problem-filled life? That's on the front end. The back end, it's you fix it or you don't fix it. What are you going to do about it? You're going to do something or not? Sometimes you don't have to fix your problems. There are scenarios where your action will just make things worse. Sometimes you just want to sit back. No, I'm not doing anything. Everybody's looking at you, say, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm doing nothing. What do you mean, what am I going to do? Nothing. I'm doing nothing. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Sometimes that works, and I've had those experiences somewhat recently, and people were looking at me, you're going to do anything? And people, my mother, my brother, everybody was all nervous. Oh, Sky, you better do something. And I was like, no. I'm not doing nothing. God's working this one out. Sky ain't doing shit. We're just going to see what happens. And that was absolutely the right course. But on the front end, how do we reduce the amount of problems in our life in general? That sounds like an uphill task for somebody with tons of problems. It takes two things. It takes priorities and patience. You may need to work on these two areas, and you can alleviate some of the problems in your life, avoid some of the problems that may be in your future. You have to have your priorities straight. A lot of people's problems come from a lack of priorities, not having their priorities right. What I tell you, you can come and ask me what I think your priorities should be, and I can tell you, but that's going to be through my personal filter, my opinion of the world, my opinion of you, my judgment of you. When you ask people for that type of help, you're always getting their judgment of you. So you kind of have to figure this out yourself. And one way you do this, how you figure out how to prioritize, is to be incredibly clear, laser focused, crystal clear on what your goal is. What is your intention? What are you trying to do? What's your most important things in your life right now? Work, love, food, what is it? Prioritize. Write a list from most important to least important. Write a list of the top 3 or 5 things in order. And you'll start to get an idea. This is just a practice. It's just a practice to get to know yourself. You'll get an idea of what you should be working towards every single day. What's number one? What do I do today? Why am I going to work all the time? It's to make money. And what's that money for? Go look at your priorities list. Number 1. What's the first thing, your first priority? That's what you're working for. That's why you spend 8 to 10 hours a day somewhere. So you can get your priorities straight by getting to know yourself. Introspection. Getting to know your agenda, your motives. I suggest making lists, daily lists, things to do. Put every single thing on the list, even the little stuff. Your list may look the same every single day. It doesn't matter. Make that list anyways. You could have a notepad by the end of the year, and every page has the same list on it. Go to work, pick up kids. It'd be the exact same thing in the same order. That's fine. Write it out. You're training yourself to prioritize your goals. As long as you're on a mind, body, and soul program like I try to help people engage with and learn to live, it's a lifestyle management. then you will naturally be adding more things to your list because you're going to be growing as a person. You may have on your list this week, buy this book that I heard about, go plan this vacation. Things will add to your lists, and you'll, with the process of making lists, you'll learn to prioritize certain things. You may think that buying new clothes is a huge priority, and you may stress about that because how expensive clothes are. Do I have the time to even go buy them? I might have to take off work, or the whole experience. I'm just trying to come up with an example, but the whole experience can be rather stressful for some people, and you may have to take a look at your lists, take a look at your priorities, do some very brief 2-second, 3-second, 60-second soul searching, and say, you know what, maybe I don't need to go to Target. Maybe I could just pick up some socks and underwear at the dollar store and work with what I got for another couple months. You'll learn to get your priorities straight because you'll be crystal clear and laser focused on what your agenda is. And your agenda is going to be towards your mind, body, and soul program, which makes you greater, stronger, and helps you grow as a person. The other aspect of this is your patience. Some people are rushing forward through life so fast that I can see why life feels overwhelming. You can run through the forest, through the thickets, and that's going to be painful. Or you could walk slow and duck around them. And sure, you travel a lot slower, you cover less ground, but you get by without the suffering. And you're a little bit more patient on your progress, a little more patient on the path. You're not so goal-driven as you are journey-driven. The journey is the goal. There's so many people online that are going to sit here and try to pump you up about being goal-oriented and to create wins, to make money, buy a car, have all these goals, and fight every day towards your goals. And a lot of people give up. And they get angry and they think, well, that's just a scam. Maybe that guy was a liar. All those cars were rented. That mansion was rented. It was just some Airbnb bullshit. That guy's a fraud. Who knows if he's a fraud or not? What you want to fall in love with is not the wealth, not the jewels, not the gifts, not the goals. You fall in love with the process of getting there. You fall in love with the journey. Sure, we have to pick a destination. We're going to go out for a ride later on the motorcycles. We'll pick a destination. But the destination doesn't matter. We could easily just meet up at the destination. The point of riding together is that ride. The destination, we pick anywhere. It doesn't matter. Where did you ride to? Who cares? It doesn't matter where we rode to. All that matters is that we rode. Some people get it and some people don't. If you want to have a problemless life, you're going to have to move to a fantasy world. Even Disney movies, there's problems. But you can work on your priorities and work on your patience, and you will find that you will navigate this path a lot better. It's food for thought.